Don in London, hello. April 21st, 2009. It's coming up to 8:02 and there's noises off outside. There's lots of banging and clattering as the wine bottles from across the road at the by Bendham restaurant are taken away. And this is a ritual which happens normally about 6 o'clock in the morning, but it seems like it's going on a bit later. So why is that making me smile? Well, because I don't drink a day at a time anymore. I'm in recovery and recovered one day at a time. Some fine distinctions were shared last night in a meeting of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, the fellowship which helped me find my path back to who I am and what I may do on a daily basis. So I have a lot of gratitude this morning. That is, my cold has abated. I got to see a good friend yesterday who took my last annual chip, one of these chips that we have every year, and it's like pass it on, and the gift in passing it on means I don't have a great collection of medals in a drawer somewhere. I only have one current chip. I have a one-day chip and the current chip, so I've given up my last one. It's gone to a good home, and no doubt it will be passed on to somebody else as well. So it's just a little ritual that a couple of us came up with just to help us. And it means a lot because we carry that chip with us for a whole year of sobriety, and it's a celebration. So what's good about my life? Well, I've got fellowship, family, community, society. All these aspects of my life I can be a part of rather than isolated and excluded. And the fellowship of AA is integral, and sober living is the foundation of everything I do these days, because without sober I become an addict again to either substance and behaviour, and I don't really feel right about going backwards. I'd rather stay level and where I am and just experience ordinary living, which is extraordinary because I see it as it is, reality as it is, the best I can see it. And I do know there will still be denials in me, the I can't believe these moments, and the frustration, anger and depression which is associated with life as it goes on. And with two other major conditions, type 1 diabetes and clinical depression, life is quite difficult, but it's okay because I can smile when there's something to smile about. I can be sad when there's something to be sad about. So it's almost like I've got my feelings back. Or I'm experiencing my feelings as they may be in reality for the first time in over 50 years. Oh, that sounds a bit daunting. It is actually. Anyway, the fellowship of AA is integral, and there is a preamble shared at every meeting which I share here. I don't speak for AA, I speak about my experience, strength and hope gained from the literature and attending meetings, and as somebody said yesterday, there is no substitute for meetings, and I wholeheartedly agree, and I'm glad they pointed that out. It's absolutely essential to have face-to-face contact with people in recovery so that we can face the rest of the world as well. That's what I've learned, and I'm not trying to. There's a word called proselytise, which is me imposing my opinion on you. I don't want to do that. But anyway, here's the preamble of AA, which settles me down into the moment of now. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's it in a nutshell, is that primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety, which is why I do these videos. But nobody speaks for AA. It's got trusted servants. It doesn't have leaders who shout it from the rooftops. But so mine's a very low-level exercise of just sharing my experience, strength and hope a day at a time, and utilising the tools of the program. So it's a 12-step action program for individuals, and 12 traditions hold the fellowship together. And it's ordinary people staying in recovery one day at a time. So if you're looking for a fix or a way out which would be quick, all I've learned in the last few years is there is no quick fix, but there is a gentle progress made, and it improves our ability to see reality. And as reality is the true connection to spiritual experience, that is, living in the moment of now, mind, body and breath, experiencing life as it may be, and being able to absorb exactly what is going on. Not always perfect by any means, it's just progress, not perfection. We get a little bit further each day. So April is all about step 4, the fearless moral inventory, and it's often seen as the bogey step, if you like, the one which we don't really like doing, because we have to look at our resentments and defects. What made us resentful, what made us fear life, what made us put on a brave face and stop using our courage, faith and confidence, or just understanding it's okay to be human and make mistakes and learn from them. Why did we go into hiding? And the answer is that's what addiction did. And one of the readings which I want to share is in As Bill Sees It, which I think is really important, and also daily reflections today. Yeah, I'll do the daily reflections first because it's about the individual. And for April 21st it says, cultivating faith. I don't think we can do anything very well in this world unless we practice it. And I don't believe we do AA too well unless we practice it. We should practice acquiring the spirit of service. We should attempt to acquire some faith, which isn't easily done, especially for the person who has always been very materialistic, following the standards of society today. But I think faith can be acquired. It can be acquired slowly. It has to be cultivated. That was not easy for me, and I assume that it is difficult for everyone else. That comes from Dr. Bob and the Good Old Timers book. Fear is often the force that prevents me from acquiring and cultivating the power of faith. Fear blocks my appreciation of beauty, tolerance, forgiveness, service and serenity. Those words, an appreciation of beauty, becoming tolerant, forgiving, service and serenity. And those words weren't in my vocabulary when I was in my last throes of drinking. I was just so shut down and frightened by life. I couldn't open the front door, I couldn't answer a telephone, I couldn't open a letter. I could hardly stagger one way or another, it was just so bad. Fear was crippling me. And that's only a few years ago. So, the turnaround and this very, very slow progress, how else could it be? I mean, the world is big, beyond our imagination and comprehension. So if I get a little bit of guidance and I actually learn something every day, it's going to be good because it's new. And the whole program is based on changing attitude, behaviour and new experiences of living sober. And that is really scary in the early days, and there were newcomers last night, and my heart goes out to them, because the awfulness of doing the first 90 days yet again, and getting over that craving to drink, and why did I do that, and the beating up we do of ourselves. No one knows just how badly an alcoholic beats themselves up, to the point where they just don't want to be alive anymore, and going back for a relapse and a slip, it's awful. And I'm glad I haven't done it recently, so I'm lucky. But as Bill sees it, I'm running out of time if I'm not careful, this one. Trouble becomes an asset, and this is on page 82, and this is really important for me. I think that this particular General Service Conference holds promise and has been filled with progress because it had trouble. And it has converted that trouble into an asset, into some growth and into a great promise. AA was born out of trouble, one of the most serious kinds of trouble that can befall an individual, the trouble attendant upon this dark and fatal malady of alcoholism. Every single one of us appreciated AA in trouble, in impossible trouble, in hopeless trouble, and that is why we came. If this conference was ruffled, if individuals were deeply disturbed, I say that is fine. What parliament, what republic, what democracy has not been disturbed? Friction of opposing viewpoints is the very modus operandi on which they proceed. Then what should we be afraid of? And that is absolutely true for me. The key in AA is that as we individuals are learning on a daily basis and improving our conscious contact with reality, the actual spiritual nature of this program, reality, we are going to get viewpoints which are different, because we're all different. We're unique, authentic people learning a day at a time. So nobody's on the same place, on the same page for very long, which is why we always come back to experience, strength and hope. Lean on fellowship, gain the wisdom which is there from different people, make it work in your life and my life, or however we can. But we don't need to shut anybody up or tell anybody what to do. And trouble is good news, because friction means we are open to change. So there we are, more later.